Let's go next to Lucian from England. You're on the air.
Hello, David.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
All right. So I saw that a few days ago you responded to a caller who was asking about the idea of having conversations with other public speakers like yourself, but on the right.
Yes.
Um, I sorry if you spoke about it again since, but I haven't quite caught up on the vids.
Okay.
Um, you seemed fairly open to the idea at the end of that, and I think you asked the audience if they'd be interested.
Right.
So my thoughts, I've had thoughts on this for a while, wanting to speak to you about it, because I think I'm quite worried that people can become quite insular and sort of stick to their own kind, so to say,
Mm-hmm.
and taking everything these people say as gospel. And I wonder to what extent you think this has contributed to the polarization we see today.
You're saying that maybe not enough conversations between left and right are happening, and that leads to more polarization.
Yes, and you did say, and I understand that you said it's quite hard to make it a productive thing,
Yeah.
maybe especially if you're trying to speak to the likes of Tucker. But would you be sort of willing to try it and maybe sort of like lead by example to get the public to be more open to bipartisanship?
Yeah, I mean, listen,
Um,
here's the thing. The call that I got last week from people saying, why not do more of the, kind of like blood sport type debates with kooky right wingers? That's very different than when, like, for example, I had on Neil Ferguson, who's someone from the right who we can engage in a more meaningful way to hopefully try to understand each other. Or like when I had on, who else? There's a bunch of different people I've had on where it's sort of more normal in a sense. I think that that's great, and I have been doing that and continue to do that. I think that the question from the caller was more like more cartoonish debates with Tim Pool or like the Westboro Baptist Church lunatics or stuff like that, where that I don't see as productive. But like when I have Neil Ferguson on or people like that, I think that is good, and I plan to continue doing that.
yes, I really hope it's making a difference. I just think both sides really love to demonize each other so much.
Yeah.
I think if the people we look up to for this kind of information, if we see them sit down and talk constructively, I
Right.
mean, it won't fix the problem, but I think it could go a long way.
I don't disagree. I'm completely on board. And yeah, my interpretation of last week's question was more about like the wacky right wingers, where it's just like, how much do we really look? It's like funny to do a Jesse Lee Peterson interview, but it's kind of a waste of time too.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah. Very, very good point. Glad to have the opportunity to clarify and explore further. Why don't we speak next to, I don't know. I mean, there's so many different people interested in getting on. One of our sponsors is Sussman and Hahn. Sussman and Hahn has everything you need when it comes to face masks and other supplies to stay safe during COVID-19. And Sussman and Hahn is the company that I've personally been going to for face masks and other PPE because I trust the products that they sell. And that's actually why we reached out to them about becoming a sponsor, because their prices are reasonable, ordering is simple, everything ships within 24 hours, and they just have high quality products for this global 100-year pandemic. They've got surgical masks, KN95 masks, N95 masks, other useful things like infrared thermometers, face shields, sanitizers. Sussman and Hahn is also an awesome company because they've donated over 65,000 masks so far to healthcare institutions. Shipping is free on orders over $150. You can go to their website by going to davidpakman.com/mask. The link is right underneath this video, and they'll give you 20% off when you use the coupon code DAVID.